back again. Is there anything else I can do for you?
Do we still have that immensely expensive rat food in stock?
The Golden Delicious? Quite possible. Why do you ask?
Because I was lucky enough to make the acquaintance of a rat that only eats this gourmet stuff. And I would need about a year's supply of it.
A year's supply, you say? I think that would be all I have left in stock. My reserve for the most difficult cases.
Steve is an incredibly difficult case. He eats nothing else.
I can believe that. The more expensive the food, the better. I can't possibly just hand that over. You never know when you'll find another noble donor of this premium stuff.
Not even if it were the man of your dreams?
Steve is the man of my dreams?
Not Steve. His employer, Bob.
Who lets a rat work for them? Pray tell.
Meet Bob. And don't worry, it's an employer-employee relationship at eye level. Bob idolizes Steve, and Steve idolizes Bob.
Oh, well, hello there. He looks good. And he is what? A businessman?
Let me put it bluntly. Bob is exactly the bad guy you've been looking for all your life. He runs a shop for used items that have fallen off the truck rather involuntary.
So, a really bad guy?
Of the worst animal-loving kind. And I'm convinced that if you take care of Steve's culinary delights, you could take his heart by storm.
Oh my god. Now my heart is pounding like mad. Could it really be him? The bad boy who steals my heart?
I, at least, am already absolutely convinced of that. So, can I tell Bob that Steve will soon be swimming in premium food? Should I set up a date to hand over the food and start a great romance?
A date? I'm in a complete tizzy right now. I would not have expected such a twist day today.
If anyone deserves all the happiness in the world, it's you.
That is so sweet of you. Do you think I'm ready for a date yet?
It would have to be absolutely perfect, of course. So how did you imagine the date of your dreams with the bad boy of your dreams?
The date of my dreams? You will laugh at me, won't you?
Certainly not. A sunset by the sea. A field full of roses. A romantic ride in a hot air balloon.
I'm afraid I'm a bit special in this regard as well.
Now I am curious.
Well, ever since I saw the movie Edward Scissorhands, I've been dreaming of getting closer to my beloved on a gloomy night in the pale moonlight. The movie was so romantic.
True, a really good movie, but very sad. As for you, of course I wish for a happy ending.
Sweet of you. Do you know such a place?
A gloomy place. For the beginning of the greatest romance of the century. I'll find it. Promise.
That would be so great. I'm just so overwhelmed with excitement that I can't think of a suitable location.
Please give me a little more time. I am sure I will find the perfect place for you.
I can hardly wait. I'll start looking for a year's supply of Golden Delicious right away. And eagerly await your return. Hopefully with good news.
Welcome, welcome. Welcome to Bob's Drugstore, where customer satisfaction is written in capital letters.
What's with the irritating flailing of the arms?
Irritating flailing?
Well, the waving of the arms when you say something.
You mean my customer-focused, arm-based giving gesture?
Huh? I find that extremely disturbing. I can't even focus on what you're saying. Whoa, wait a minute. Is that what this is all about? To distract the customer from the fine print of the spoken word.
Well, look at that. You're a smart little guy. I see you are also familiar with St. Stan's Advanced Sales Psychology Manual.
St. Stan's Advanced Sales Psychology Manual? What's that? And who is St. Stan?
Sorry, I thought you had read the book. The said manual is nothing less than the encyclopedia of the psychology of the sales conversation at the first customer interaction. Written by St. Stan some 300 years ago.
Wow.
You can say that again. A truly masterful work with a universal validity.
St. Stan must have been a great guy.
He was. A universal genius that could really sell anything to a potential customer. Whether the customer wanted it or not. But in the end, they all wanted it.
You seem to have a great reverence for St. Stan.
I do! He started out as a used ship salesman, later expanded his business field to include used real estate, and was finally able to live royally from the royalties of his book. On his own island.
Very interesting. However, you mentioned that arm waving should only be used during initial customer contact. But you underline practically every second sentence with it.
Yes. Try to suddenly suppress a hard-trained idiosyncrasy.
Aren't you worried that your wild arm movements might scare off customers during follow-up contact?
Do you really think so?
Well, I already mentioned that it irritates me to a high degree.
Thanks for the tip. In fact, there is nothing in Stan's Bible about using this procedure for customer follow-up contact as well. You may even be right. Steve, what do you think? Does my arm acrobatics irritate you? Really? And for how long? Really? And why didn't you ever say anything? Because you didn't want to hurt my feelings? Damn. Then I really have to work on myself. Thank you both very much. My artful arm movements might cost me customers in the end. Not to be imagined.
Glad I could help.
Is there anything else I can help you with?
Isn't this place a little too remote for walk-ins?
Remote? Walk-in customers? Bob's Drugstore does not rely on walk-in customers.
Not? So your business model is based on hearsay? Something like, a thief knows a thief who knows a thief who knows a customer.
Well, I wouldn't have put it quite like that, but yes, basically, that's the secret to the success of Bob's Drugstore.
Fascinating. Your place seems to embody just about every cliché of a criminal back alley joint that I know.
I'm sure you meant just about every cliché of successful owner-operated buying and selling, whose continued success is based on high customer satisfaction. I see my valued customers more as friends than as business partners.
So we're friends now too?
Why, of course! Once you have made your first purchase, with a flexible payment model tailored to your creditworthiness.
I'm pretty short on cash, unfortunately.
No problem. Bob's Drugstore also offers financing on attractive terms.
And what if I can't pay my installments? After 6 seasons of The Sopranos, I tend to be wary of back alley financing.
Oh, don't worry. My colleague Steve will then explain the procedure to you.
Steve? Steve scares me a little bit though.
I'll say, Steve is very affable. And his gloomy look is based solely on the fact that Alfredo only offers vegan stuff. No more pizza with real cheese. Steve still has to chew on that. As a customer service representative, however, Steve does a top-notch job. Steve is a highly valued employee here, albeit with an extremely delicate nervous system at the moment due to tough cheese deprivation. So please address him as Sir or Mr.
Sir, Steve. You got it. Sorry.
Well, now that you've learned all about my business model and people management, is there anything else I can do for you?
Thank you. I'm gonna look around some more.
It's a pleasure. You have to pay for whatever you touch. Gladly with a low-interest loan tailored to your wishes and creditworthiness. Because at Bob's Drugstore, a satisfied customer today is a friend tomorrow. Is there anything else I can help you with?
Tell me, are you still single?
What kind of strange question is that?
Because a friend of mine is looking for a bad boy. And I somehow think you would be perfect together.
You think I'm a bad guy? I am a businessman.
But of course, my mistake. Be that as it may. Look here.
Well, hello there. Who is that cute gray mouse?
This is Mary. She runs the city's animal shelter. And for reasons I can't explain, is on a quest to find the bad boy of her dreams. She's nice, she is kind, she is righteous, and thus probably pretty much the direct opposite of you.
Hey, I am nice and kind. Isn't that right? There, you have the confirmation.
Sorry. Because of your friendship with your rat, you would definitely be well in with Mary. Mary has a big heart for strays. And therefore, probably also a big heart for you.
That's what I'm saying. So, when can I meet her, this, sweet gray mouse?
Just pay her a visit at the animal shelter.
Just like that? Nope. I don't have the courage to do that. What if I'm not her type?
In fact, I'm afraid you're absolutely her type. But why so shy? You surely have to deal with the worst types and cutthroats here day after day.
That's right. But Steve keeps these bad guys and cutthroats away from me. And I deal with such a sweet creature as with Mary rather rarely. And you didn't hold the photo in front of my nose for no reason now, did you?
So you want me to play the advocate of love?
If you want to put it that way.
Will I get the photo equipment from you after that?
Sorry. Unfortunately, I have to keep private and business matters strictly separate.
Too bad. It was worth a try. Alright. I'll think about something in relation to Mary. I like romance and happy endings.
You would? Thank you very much! I can't wait to meet Mary. Is there anything else I can help you with?
Mary sends her love.
Mary?
Well, Mary, the sweet grey mouse, as you put it.
Oh, Mary. Oh, the Mary? From your photo?
Exactly. The only true one. Well, in any case, I have good news.
Really?
Yep. I have the sacred mission to find the perfect place for your first date. Because Mary would like to dance with you in the pale moonlight into a rosy future. All it needs is the perfect gloomy backdrop.
Oh, so Mary's a romantic. I think that's sweet.
It is. And she has a pretty concrete idea of how your first date will go.
A gloomy place? With pale moonlight?
Yeah, like the classic movie Edward Scissorhands. Only with a happy ending.
So why didn't we meet right here? I find this alley delightfully gloomy. And the bat symbol in the clouds could be interpreted as moonlight.
I think Mary has a more romantic place in mind than this smelly backyard alley. Maybe an old castle, or something like that.
Oh. Yes. You're probably right. It really does smell a bit bitter here. But then again, the rent is cheap.
I'm afraid Mary is a perfectionist when it comes to that. But don't worry, I'm already looking for a suitable place. I'm also a hopeless romantic.
I think it's great, really. Will you please let me know as soon as you find a suitable place?
Of course. I better get right back into the search.
Good luck.
The gate has seen better days. I don't think... Well? Dressed all in black? Did someone else die?
Oh, there he is again, young Mr. Whiskers. The man to whom I am indebted for eternal gratitude. And to answer your question, quite the opposite. There is reason to rejoice.
Eternal gratitude? Reason to rejoice? Let's start with the former. Why exactly is the great Vlad Popescu indebted to me for eternal gratitude? I'd have expected you to never speak a word to me again after I persuaded you to collaborate on this trash film. Not to mention the attack with the spray can.
Granted, the movie is probably pretty crap, and the use of spray cans was a bit unconventional. But by arranging the role in this flick, I was able to meet the great James Pollock. A most talented young man.
Sounds like you guys hit it off.
Even better. I will play the leading role in his next movie. An inexpensive art house horror film shot entirely in black and white.
Well, that sounds really great.
Indeed, right. No werewolves, no zombies, no romance. Just the camera and yours truly.
No one else in the movie.
Nope. The movie is called Memoirs of a Bloodsucker. And the title says it all. An old vampire ponders his life for 4.5 hours and reviews all the good and all the bad that has happened to him in his life.
Wow. It doesn't sound like the movie is for today's audience, though.
Probably not.
But the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences will probably love the flick. Sounds like you're already assured of the Oscar. And I'm incredibly happy for you.
Thank you very much, my young friend. But unfortunately, even this role has a small hurdle.
Oh, what's the problem?
I already mentioned that this movie is also rather of the inexpensive sort. And I'm expected to appear there in my old Dracula costume. The one I used to wear all the time.
Don't you have the costume anymore?
Well, I never in my life expected to be allowed to return to my old role. That's why I had given the costume to a couple of kids who had rung my doorbell a few years ago for Halloween.
You didn't have any candy at home.
I don't like to share my candy.
You just gave away your beloved costume.
I no longer saw any use for it. And it seemed fitting as a gift for Halloween.
What exactly are you missing now? I guess a black cape.
A cape, my black wig, and my pointed vampire fangs.
I can keep my eyes open for these three things. I would really like to see you in that role.
And I would really like to play that role.
Alright, I'll take care of it on one condition.
Whatever it takes.
Please mention my name first in your acceptance speech at the Oscars.
Consider it done. Is there be anything else?
I have to go.
See you.
Too bad about the beautiful broom. With this, I can probably kiss my Quidditch career goodbye. Pointed sharp scissors and a skull full of sharp teeth. What could possibly go wrong? I'm afraid I broke the skull. I've mentioned before that my talent for breaking things far exceeds my talent for making things whole again. But at least I have some nice pointed plastic teeth now. No. This black cape is exactly what you're looking for, isn't it?
You have a cape for me? Can I put it on right now?
In fact, I insist on it. Now that's what I call an impressive performance!
Indeed, right. The cape is great.
You just have to promise me one thing.
Whatever you...
I might borrow the cape for a few days for next year's science fiction convention. I'll be an impressive Batman.
Of course. Maybe I will even be invited.
That would be amazing. Although I know that Vlad is looking for a black-haired wig. However, with this wig, he could appear as a long-haired hippie, but not as Dracula. Maybe I can still optimize the gem a little. Well then, good thing I already had plenty of experience as a hairdresser. I create all my own cosplay costumes and wigs for the science fiction events I attend regularly. I am a real artist. I could ask any amount of money for this wig on eBay. I think this great black short hair wig should meet the requirements for your Dracula costume, right?
You actually found a wig for me already. I am thrilled. Can I try it out right away?
Why, of course. And I'm sure it will look great on you. Perfect! The artfully crafted wig will give you just the dignity you need to shine as Dracula.
You think so? It's a bit itchy and smells like floor polish.
Just wash it a few more times, it will subside.
Good. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. I guess those great teeth should make you the Dracula you've always been. The most impressive screen bloodsucker ever.
You actually found Dracula teeth for me? May I ask where you got them?
Better not. I literally had to rip someone's head off for them.
Whoa! Fine. Let's see then. The teeth are indeed impressive. The only question is how to fix the loose teeth in my mouth.
I suggest you just talk with your mouth closed and let your teeth peek out a little. This immediately gives you an even more mysterious aura.
You have really great ideas. You should work in movie too.
Better not. I probably couldn't handle my fame. I would eventually end up as a washed up, almost forgotten child star in B-movie hell. No thanks. I think that would complete your Dracula costume, wouldn't it?
Indeed. And you saved my butt again.
Don't mention it. All I had to do was commit deliberate theft, bash someone's skull in, and destroy a valuable piece of work equipment. I was happy to do it.
And I don't really know how I could show my appreciation now.
Not necessary. Just win an Oscar with your role as Dracula and then mention me in your acceptance speech. That would make us even.
You have my word. Welcome.
I would love to rent your gloomy wall for a romantic event.
Oh? What gloomy wall?
The decaying stone wall down the path, the one with the creepy fake skulls next to the gnarled tree.
Oh, that wall. Did you say romantic event? Who on earth would associate that crumbling wall with romance?
A really lovely person who has perhaps watched the classic film Edward Scissorhands a little too often. Her dream is to celebrate the first date with her beloved in a gloomy place in the pale moonlight.
I see. Well, in principle, of course. I don't want to stand in the way of romance. And after you have helped me so selflessly for the second time now, it is probably only the least to make my property available to you for your request.
Really? Mary will be happy about that. And I'm sure that the gnarled tree, the dilapidated wall, and the dummy skulls provide exactly the ambience that she wants.
These are not.
And on top of that, the fact that for some inexplicable reason, the moon is always shining here. Although it should be around 12 noon. Absolutely perfect.
I'm glad you like my property. Unfortunately, there have been no romantic vibes here for a long time. I think it's high time for that.
I'd best get on the road right away and tell Mary and Bob the good news.
Well then, I wish you good luck, my young Mr. Whiskers.
Back again?
I have great news! I have found the perfect place for your date with Bob.
Really? Have you?
A gloomy place with a crumbling wall, an old bony tree, and lots of fake skulls. And the most important ingredient, deepest night, illuminated by pale moonlight, and even at 12 noon.
Wow! That sounds fantastic indeed! I would not have thought such a place really exists. How did you find this great scenery?
A good friend, a great old school movie star whose name I won't reveal now. Okay, I'm talking about Vlad Popescu, of course. He still owed me a favour and agreed to make his creepy mansion available for your date with Bob.
Wow! You really know Vincent Price?
Not Vincent Price, the other VP. Vlad Popescu.
Oh.
So, I think it's time to put our money where our mouth is. Don't you think? I think you can't wait to meet Bob, can you?
I don't know where my head is. I am so excited. Have you had a chance to talk to Bob yet? Maybe he's not interested in dating me at all.
I really wouldn't worry about that. I already know the walkthrough of this game and know that there'll be a happy ending regarding you and Bob. But to be absolutely sure, I best talk to Bob right away. And after that, my job as Cupid's advocate is probably done. And you found your bad boy for life.
Thank you very much, my dear Scott. What would I do without you?
Hey, that's no problem at all. Happy to help. You really deserve all the luck in the world.
That's sweet of you to say.
So go ahead and get out your dancing shoes. Because before long, you'll be prancing with Bob in the pale moonlight towards a rosy future.
Welcome.
I found the perfect place for your date with Mary!
Really? For a date with the cute grey mouse from the animal shelter?
With Mary, the one and only. A dreamlike, gloomy scenery in the deep night illuminated by the pale moonlight, guarded by some darn real-looking dummy skulls.
That does sound a bit weird. But then again, my life is a pretty weird roller coaster ride anyway. So, I'm ready! When do you want to start?
I think there's no reason to waste any more time. Mary can hardly wait. And I, as the reigning date doctor, have to acknowledge that you are probably the bad boy of her dreams.
Great! Then let me quickly get my going out trench coat, and then I'll be on my way.
Do that. You can't miss the Popescu estate a few villages away. Well, and I am already getting ready for one of the most elaborate cutscenes in this game. Finally, I have nothing to do here, and can just enjoy a nice cinematic. Well then, I think now it's time for some romance, don't you? I have now really mastered my job as Cupid's advocate with flying colours. I'm so happy that Mary's finally found the bad boy of her dreams. And how lucky for us that Vlad's gloomy backdrop has one of Captain Pauly's surveillance cameras hanging on it. This allows us to play fly on the wall and witness Bob and Mary's date firsthand. Are you excited as I am? Action!
There you are.
And there you are. The woman of my dreams.
The husband of my dream. Wait. You are a smoker?
No, just a man with a nervous tic.
So the cigarette is not lit.
The only thing that is lit here is my desire for you.
Thank God. You scared me for a second.
I can understand that.
A woman with a multi-cat household has no use for a man who is hooked on smokes, no matter how handsome he may be.
So, you're fond of animals?
My life is dedicated to our four-legged friends.
Because I only come in a package with a furry roommate.
I think that's lovely.
And its furry extended family.
I love kids.
With very special culinary requirements.
I have already pre-ordered 2 annual rations of golden delicious.
You really think of everything. Has anyone ever told you how superbly your eyes sparkle in the pale moonlight?
Tell me more.
And your red hair glows blazing like the flames of the setting sun.
What else?
The gloomy shadows of your shapely silhouette make my heart shiver pleasantly.
Oh, you are such a romantic.
And you are such a cute little tootsie. I can hardly believe my luck.
No doubt. You are the bad boy of my dreams.
And you are my honey bunny.
My little rat tooth.
My little kitty.
Hold my hand.
We should not.
We absolutely should.
Your mother will hate me.
My 2 fathers would disagree with that.
I am not worthy of your good soul after all.
But our souls complete each other wonderfully. I am the yin.
To my yang. I am the lid.
To my pot.
Oh, Mary.
Oh, Bob.
So that's how it started. The romantic saga of Bob and Mary, and a fat, furry rat named Steve. And once again,
The saying proved true. The way to a man's heart is through his stomach. A lonely soul found the bad boy of her dreams. A not-so-bad boy found the woman for life. And a hungry rat found golden delicious rat food for life. And they all lived happily ever after, with a good chance of appearing in the second installment of this great adventure game.
Aww, I got all misty-eyed. Let's hope that Steve and Mary's 1,000 cats get along well. Finally, a happy ending. But now I have to make sure that there's a happy ending for Mr. Fumbleclaw. We'll talk a little more later, okay? I really have to get going and save the world.